All right. Welcome, my crypto brethren. We're in the December 2021 time frame, and the subject this evening is a little more about NFTs in the metaverse. We'll call it Metaverse 2.0 or Part 2, and just some general overview information for where we are in the market currently. Things are fascinating. There's so much going on so fast. And I know people have trouble following it. So the main point of tonight's lesson is going to be what's really going on in some summary cases. We've got craziness and explosive areas and wonderful things. So I'm going to add to the pile of information that you have so far. If you don't understand any of these things, go back, look at previous videos. But if you're all caught up, here we are. My name is Dr. Chef. This is Dr. Chef's Crypto. And I'm not a financial advisor. It's not official financial advice. We are having some fun with crypto. This is education and entertainment purposes only. So, what is going on? I'm not talking about the ups and downs. That's normal. I'm not talking about pseudo crashes or recoveries. That's normal. I'm not even talking about today's numbers. I'm talking about overviews. Yesterday, a company spent $2.5 million to buy an area of one of the metaverses for fashion, with the plan of developing a fashion avenue, which is fabulous. Okay. I don't know if you've been to these places or done any of these things, but I need to kind of spend a minute outlining the pluses and minuses, or the dangers and possible rewards associated with metaverse, NFT, gaming, all that stuff. Let me just summarize real quick. The metaverse, or a metaverse, is a place that is going to be similar in some ways to the movie Ready Player One, in that there are going to be activities going on within a world created within the computer. Now, this is beautiful. Everybody wants to do this. This is hilarious. This is fun. And if the game is good, this is going to be a blast. The cryptocurrency concept is being utilized within these spaces as the currency of those worlds, thereby moving these currencies in value. Part one. Part two. The blockchain and its origin in the concepts of confirmability, stability, and universal truth is the core of the positioning of where you own property, NFTs, etc. What the metaverse is a combination of these elements and many other things that create virtually infinite possibilities for the creative mind. For instance, you can buy a piece of land. If you don't know how this works, you're going to want to go figure it out, because it's fascinating. On this piece of land, you can develop something, and people do everything with this land. Some of them develop a shopping center or a place that you could buy products that they sell, either online or in real life. You can link to Instagrams. So let's say I wanted to be an Instagram, let's say I wanted to be an Instagram influencer, and I wanted to have this big giant following, and I like to have pool parties. So I buy a piece of land in the metaverse. I set up a pool. I have a giant pool party going on. Anybody that goes in there can get linked at the pool bar, can go into my Instagram. This can generate Instagram followers for me. Anybody moving through this metaverse. That's one example. Let's say I sell shoes. I set up a shoe store. Let's say I sell shoes like Amazon. You buy shoes online, I ship them to your house. Well, I set up a store. In that store, you might have the ability to buy shoes from me in real life. You might also get a pair of those shoes for your avatar that's wandering around. So you go in there, you buy some Gucci Gator loafers for your character, and then you buy that in real life and you use cryptocurrency to buy that, and then it arrives at your house. These are all possibilities. Sports, betting, there's casinos. You're betting with the money that's there. You're playing this cool video game, casino gambling. It's real money. The person that owns that area gets a cut of it. This is fabulous. I mean, these ideas are quite fabulous. Listen, that's all amazing. Super cutting edge, super creative, good stuff. But here's the deal. Not everybody's going to win. Do you remember in the early days of cars when there was a bunch of different companies and some of them won and became the lead car companies? Or in the early days of computer gaming systems, some of those things were winners. Some of those things passed away. You know, Commodore, VIC-20, all that kind of stuff. Do you remember all those things? This is what's happening. Some of these worlds will make it and some will fade away. If you spend $100,000 of your hard-earned money to buy a piece of land in one of these places that doesn't become popular, you're going to lose this money. But, if you pick the one that becomes the center of the metaverse, so what you're looking at now is probably 4 or 5 main metaverses and probably dozens of other backup metaverses. You're going to want to bet on one of them. If you ask me, I'll tell you where my bets are. Decentraland, Mana. I like horse racing. D-Race. I like the connectivity things that connect the areas, Altura, things like this. The core of it all, Ethereum, right? Ethereum. See, this is really the crazy part, right? So, like, take, for instance, there's exchanges going on. So you've got Ethereum providing the platform. On that platform, you got Tier 2 Polygon, Matic. That's being used to connect all the exchanges happening in something like Decentraland, which is built on it. So all this stuff is interconnected. Ethereum's the core. That's why it's such a big deal. I like that stuff. But there's so many. There's so many things. The pluses are huge. You buy a piece of land, like real life. Let's say you bought a piece of land where modern day Cozumel is, when it was just this weird Mexican area. And you got it for, $100 an acre. You bought 20 acres that are now the majority of downtown Cozumel, which is a resort city, and it's worth millions and millions of dollars. It's very similar to this. If you pick the wrong place, it doesn't work. So this is what you call a gamble. Is it worth it? I don't know. If you buy a car for a race car game and it turns out to be a game that becomes popular and your car becomes a championship car, you make a ton of money. If that game doesn't work and become popular, you lose a lot of money. So this whole NFT, metaverse, cryptocurrency, fusional concept is definitely a big deal. It's definitely part of the future. But where does it go exactly? And that's why we're sitting here with question marks. You need to invest early in projects to make substantial gains. But early in projects, you don't know what's going to succeed. This is the trick of investment and trade. This is the trick. If you wait till you know it's the winner, it'll be worth too much for you to win. Like right now, if you buy Ethereum, the best you're going to do is 2x, maybe 5x, maybe 10x, but it's unlikely. That's the best you're going to do, probably 2x. Because everyone knows Ethereum is the winner. Ethereum established all these things. Everything is built on it. Ethereum is a winner. Everyone knows it now, so its price is gigantic. You invest in it now, best you're going to do 2x, maybe 3x. That's about it. It's great to hold, very stable, beautiful thing. You definitely want to have it. But the problem is, you need to get Ethereum before everyone knew it was the winner. You need to get Ethereum when it was $100. And now you made 43x or whatever. You know what I mean? You're going to have to figure this out by doing a mass amount of research. Which game, which world, which metaverse, which concept, which backup. I'm into one fairly heavily because I'm hoping that it becomes the winner. If it does not become the winner, I'm risking money. That's what investing is, risking money. So, go take a look at these, which ones they are. If you want, maybe I'll do a video about the top 3, 4, 5 of them and what it looks like. But you're going to want to look at what angle you want. Do you want to be a landowner? Do you want to develop a business within the metaverse? Do you want to buy up land that you can then sell later? Do you want to have NFTs that you sell in a gallery that you create? There's a big, Sotheby's themselves has a gallery. One of the biggest auction houses in the world has a metaverse gallery for NFTs. They're ahead of the curve. Sotheby's, just look it up, they're ahead of the curve. There's so many things you could do. I don't even know. I'm not a computer expert, so I don't even know. I mean, a bank. Why not make a bank in the metaverse where people can go in and cash money and do all those things? I don't know. Why not have an ATM? You know what I mean? Gambling. I watched some guys doing some poker. It was just amazing because the person who owned that piece of the metaverse, owned the casino, got a cut. It was 30%. The guys were gambling and they were winning. They were playing like video poker. But the cut of the video poker was going to the casino owner. It's wild. And it's all on the computer. It's all in, cyberspace. I love this stuff, you guys. I mean, I've been a lifelong learner. I've always been into education. I've always been into learning. This area is new and huge and crazy, which makes me very excited. But I understand how it's too confusing for a lot of people to get in. Think about it like this. Here's all the people. Here's the percentage of people that have anything to do with crypto at all. That's something like 10%, 15%. Then here's the people inside of crypto that really play around with alts and NFTs and stuff like that. I mean, if you're talking about a metaverse person with NFTs and things like that, you're talking about maybe 1% of the population, maybe less. There's a lot of room for this to grow. A lot of room. Some of these things are in the several $1 million market caps. which gives them a lot of room to grow. Go back and check how that works. But if you're targeting a $100 million market cap, you've got a pretty developed company, but you're going to have a room for 100 or even 1,000x. I know that there's a lot of things going on, and I know that it's complicated. And I know that some stuff is very confusing for people. But you got to move relatively quickly. You're going to have dips. There's some, like a minor dip happening now, a little bit of a recovery in some things. You're going to have dips. You really need to be able to buy them, and you need to be able to sell when things are high, move things into areas that you can buy when they're low, and you need to, but you need to do what you like, because there's so many things, from land ownership to development of projects. You can invest in the money system of the whole metaverse. You can invest in the land itself in the metaverse. You can invest in NFTs. There's NFTs in the metaverse, like they might have hats for your characters, your avatars. And those hats might be single individual NFTs. And you might be walking around with a certain hat that you own on the blockchain that's only you, that you paid, $100 for. Somebody can offer you, $200 for your hat. The point is, there's a million ways to approach it, so you need to analyze it and figure it out. If you have any specific questions for me concerning how the NFT, cryptocurrency, metaverse combination works, it's complicated. My specialty areas are some of the gambling. I believe that some of the metaverse gambling is going to be very lucrative. I really, like the land ownership concept. The problem is, I don't know which one's going to win. So I'm going through all of these analyses, figuring out where to go. My strategy so far has been to invest in the core companies and the core currencies behind the overall development of the metaverse. Nothing too specific yet. I need to get more specific, on particular NFTs, but I don't have too many NFTs because I'm concerned about what's going to work and what's not. Right now, I'm looking at way too much NFT development way too fast. If you have a painting and you have 10,000 of them and they have 10,000 versions of 10,000 things, the value is dropping like a stone. I know that there's stories of 12-year-olds making $1 million. I get all that. But this whole thing is blowing up too fast. There's going to be a lack of value in a whole lot of that. And that worries me. So I don't have any apes or anything like that, right? I'm trying to figure out how I want to approach it personally. And that's what my advice is to you. How do you want to approach it personally? Do you want to own land? Do you want to invest in the exchange systems within the metaverse or the coins being used in the metaverse? My largest metaverse holding is in a currency used within the metaverse. I thought of this as like a safe bet because it's not nothing safe, but it's because I might not have an NFT, but all the stuff being used to buy NFTs, I have invested in what's being used to do that. That was my approach. I highly recommend that when this is so early, and some of these places have been established in 2021, we are the rock bottom beginning of this whole thing. I highly recommend, while we're so new, to get involved somehow. But that is completely up to you and your research and what you want to do. But you need to get a piece of something, because if you get something for $1,000 now that's worth $100,000 next year, you're going to be a major winner. But you don't know, there's so many things. You got to go with your heart, something you would like to see happen. And I've got ideas, and I don't even know if they're possible. There's actually grants going on. You know how in real life you could get a grant to build a college? There's that happening in the metaverse. I can't even tell you all the details of all these things because it would take hours and hours. But you could actually apply for grants, get grants in crypto to build things within the metaverse, like you would do in real life to build a college. You could actually do that in the metaverse. It's crazy. You got to get involved somehow because what if the thing you pick blows up? Everybody's talking about all the money that was made from Shiba or whatever. It's because they got it back when it had 3 extra zeros in it. 0.00000. Now it's worth a huge amount of money to them. You got to make moves. Not official financial advice. You do you. But this is more commentary on the NFT, metaverse, cryptocurrency combinations, that world, that space. The blockchain, to me personally, is such a big deal. It's universally confirmed independently. It's the only thing like that. People are starting to talk about getting married on the blockchain, which I think is the greatest idea ever. I would love to develop a get married on the blockchain website, right? Because that's so much better than the government. This is something that the whole world can see. This is something immutable and eternal. I don't even know how that's supposed to work. That's how new that idea is. But just imagine you own something on a blockchain and everyone in the world can see it. It's automatically, completely confirmable and true. You marry somebody, every single person in the world can see it. You can't lie. You can't take off your wedding ring, okay? You're married on the blockchain. When you're married on a piece of paper from the government, you can hide it or burn it. You can't escape marriage on the blockchain. This is so amazing to me. Like, I can't even express how cool that is to me. Like your tattoo wedding ring, where you can't get rid of it if you want to, you can't take it off, you can't get rid of it. This is like the next level to me philosophically, and I don't want to sound crazy, okay? I know, too late, right? Whatever. To me, the blockchain is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to humankind, and here's why. It's a representation of universal truth. I don't want to sound crazy, but I think that's why it has people that are very negative people are anti-blockchain, people that are far away from the deep spirituality. I don't want to sound crazy, but people that are really far away from deep spirituality and sort of a universal contact in their soul, the people that are furthest away from that hate the whole crypto world. They hate it. They come out against it in major ways. People that are heavily, deeply spiritual are connected to the blockchain. I don't want to sound like some kind of weird mountain monk guru guy, but I'm telling you right now, the blockchain is one of our only sources in the secular world of universal truth. It's something that you can't deny. If you made a trade, you cannot deny it. What it is, what the blockchain is the defeat of deception and lies. Now, if you happen to be some kind of believer or something bigger than you spiritually, you need to understand what I'm trying to say. The blockchain is the physical, secular, computer, cyber definition of the defeat of deception and lies. Think about that. You cannot deceive or lie on the blockchain. You can deceive and lie in business, in marriage, in TV, in media, at banks, in insurance companies, all day long. But the blockchain represents universal truth. Just think about that. To me, that's a huge deal. That the world has a portion of people moving in the direction of a stabilized, computerized representation of universal truth where lies and deception are not possible. From my point of view as a believer, the concept, of course the enemy's going to attack that, right? Because it represents the defeat of deception. It represents truth. Once again, please forgive me for sounding a little too spiritual, a little too bizarre. It's midnight, but this is one of the reasons that this is such a big deal to me. Owning things on the blockchain, which is what this is about, NFTs, Metaverse, is so much better and more important than owning things in the quote-unquote real world, where there's quote-unquote pieces of paper that can be lost or destroyed that you have to prove your ownership. You buy a house in the metaverse, soon to be an actual house in the real world, but being done on a blockchain. When you buy a house on the blockchain, anyone in the world can instantly find out that you own a house. There's no discussion. It's instantaneous. There's no lies about who owns the house. There's no deception about what the deal is. It's universal truth, and it's on the blockchain. Anyway, there's a million representations of that. Metaverse games, cryptocurrencies. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But look at it. Send me drchefscrypto@gmail.com. Send me questions. Put comments below. Reach out to me. But figure out a way you can be involved. That's my completely unofficial, totally not real financial advice. All right? All right, love you guys. Have a fabulous night. Like, share, hit the notification button, like it, share it, watch it to the end, do all that stuff. Help a brother out. We need more people to know this information. See ya. Thanks.